17th century Japan, a complex world of constant danger and shifting loyalties. For many, survival demanded extraordinary skill and resilience. From this turbulent time rose Miyamoto Musashi, a masterless samurai, or ronin. Legend is, Musashi never lost a duel. He developed a high level of mastery with not only the sword, but also in the domain of strategy, philosophy, and art. His most famous work, the Book of Five Rings, describes what he considers to be the perfect qualities of a samurai, a masterclass for facing life's toughest challenges in the pursuit of personal excellence. In this video, we'll explore three of Musashi's most famous duels, which exemplifies the extraordinary mindset and philosophy behind one of Japan's greatest warriors. In the early morning hush of 1596, around a secluded Shinto shrine in Mimasaka province, a boy no older than 13 advanced onto the dirt courtyard. The locals, watching with bated breath, hardly believed their eyes. The fearsome Arima Kihei, a traveling swordsman of Shinto Ryu, had issued a challenge, and young Miyamoto Musashi answered it. But how was it possible for a 13-year-old boy to defeat a seasoned warrior? The principle that Musashi understood from a very young age is that mastery isn't something we are born with, but something that could only be developed through consistent practice. He dedicated himself entirely to the art of the sword, spending countless hours perfecting his technique, repeating movements over and over again until they became second nature. Musashi saw this intense dedication as the only path to true excellence. What happened that morning cemented Musashi's early reputation as a prodigy. It also foreshadowed the fearless and sometimes brutal style of dueling he became famous for. The fight was ferocious but swift. Musashi disarmed and killed Kihei. It was a significant moment, but it didn't mark the end of his journey. It was only the beginning. Instead of resting on this early success, Musashi sought out new challenges, constantly testing himself against the best warriors of his time. This mindset wasn't about accumulating victories, but about refining himself with each battle, sharpening his skills and his mind. He believed that mastery required complete immersion in one's craft, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. Every movement with the sword, every strategy in combat, became an expression of his total commitment. Through this process, he developed a profound understanding, not just of technique, but of timing, intuition, and adaptability, qualities that would make him invincible in future battles. In Musashi's life, there was one guiding principle that defined his success, not only in swordsmanship, but in every aspect of his existence, the way of strategy. Musashi believed that strategy was more important than raw strength. While others relied on power or speed, Musashi mastered the art of using strategy as his most effective weapon. His ability to think several steps ahead, to read his opponent's intentions, and to adapt to every situation made him practically unbeatable. A prime example of Musashi's mastery of strategy can be found in his duel with Madahachi Gonosuke, a highly skilled fighter known for his expertise with the staff. Gonosuke was not just a random opponent. He was a martial artist of great renown, and he came into the fight believing that his superior reach and powerful staff techniques would overwhelm Musashi's two-sword style. Let's take a moment to talk about this famous two-sword style Musashi is known for. Nitenichi Ryu, also known as Nito-ichi, literally two swords as one. The hallmark of this approach lies in the simultaneous, or at least complementary use of the katana, longsword, and the wakizashi, short sword. While many samurai traditionally wore both blades, called a daisho, Musashi's innovation was to actively wield them together in combat, finding new ways to unleash balanced aggression and exploit openings that a single sword might miss. Gonosuke underestimated Musashi's ability to strategically adapt to any challenge. From the moment the duel began, Gonosuke sought to keep Musashi at a distance, swinging his 6-foot staff with powerful, sweeping strikes. He believed that if he could control the distance between them, he would be able to stay out of reach of Musashi's swords and dominate the fight. And at first glance, it seemed like a solid strategy. But Musashi, as always, was calm and focused, not just on the immediate moment, but on the larger picture of how to win. He knew that charging recklessly into Gonosuke's range would be a mistake. Instead, he watched, analyzed, and waited. What Gonosuke didn't realize was that Musashi was studying every move, every rhythm in his opponent's strikes. He was looking for the slightest hesitation, a momentary lapse, a predictable pattern. He allowed Gonosuke to wear himself down, subtly forcing him into positions where his long staff became more of a liability than an advantage. Finally, when Gonosuke overcommitted to a powerful strike, Musashi seized the opportunity. In a moment of brilliant tactical execution, he closed the distance, a seemingly impossible feat against such a long weapon, and used his short sword to catch Gonosuke off guard. Musashi didn't win this duel with brute strength. He won it through strategic patience, observation, and timing. As we will soon discover, these principles contributed to the development of one of Musashi's greatest assets in combat, and one of the most famous duels that made him a legend in history. As a samurai, losing control of your emotions was often a fatal mistake. Yet Musashi mastered the art of inner stillness, believing that a calm mind was the key to making clear decisions and reacting appropriately to any situation. He understood that panic clouds judgment, and in the blink of an eye, it could be the difference between victory and defeat. For Musashi, the battlefield was as much a test of the mind as it was of the sword. Mental discipline was central to his philosophy. Perhaps the most famous example of Musashi's mental discipline was his legendary duel against Sasaki Kojiro, a formidable swordsman renowned for his deadly technique, the Tsubame Gaishi, a move so swift and precise that it was said to be unbeatable. Many believed Kojiro would be victorious. He was younger, faster, and some would say more skilled. But Musashi knew that this duel wasn't going to be won with skill alone. Musashi understood the power of psychology. He knew that the first battle was fought not with swords, but with the mind. As he prepared for the duel, he arrived deliberately late, forcing Kojiro to wait under the blazing sun, simmering in frustration. In contrast, Musashi appeared calm and relaxed, arriving with a wooden sword he had carved from a boat oar on his way to the duel. To onlookers, it seemed reckless, perhaps even disrespectful, but Musashi's mind was steady. He knew exactly what he was doing. When the duel began, Musashi's mental calm was on full display. He allowed Kojiro to make the first move, watching carefully, analyzing every step. As Kojiro swung his deadly blade in his signature attack, Musashi reacted in a single, decisive moment, striking Kojiro down with one powerful stroke from his wooden sword. The duel was over in an instant. While Kojiro allowed frustration and anticipation to cloud his judgment, Musashi remained fully present, fully in control of his thoughts and emotions. If Musashi's wisdom and philosophy resonates with you, like this video and subscribe to the channel for more timeless lessons from history's greatest figures. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that could change the way you see the world. Let's keep learning and exploring more blueprints of the past